Hello, I'm Svengoolie from MeTV, and you are in the fan room. My passion for horror movies did start with the 1933 King Kong movie. I was a very small kid, and I have to say, I was very afraid. My parents were building it up, I remember, and I was almost too afraid to watch it. But as soon as I started watching it, I was fascinated by it, especially, though I didn't know what it was at the time, the stop motion animation, which is still a big favorite of mine. But that was pretty much the gateway to me being into horror movies. Among my current favorite horror films are very old ones. The original Universal, origin ones of Dracula, Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, The Mummy, and especially The Creature from the Black Lagoon. I always thought that was one of the most original monsters. Took till the 1950s to get them out there. But those are always my favorites. And then a little more modern, Nightmare on Elm Street. And I've been fortunate enough to become friends with Robert Englund, so I guess I'm kind of favoritism there. But there's some great stuff out there. And I always say the first movie that scared me as a kid was not a monster movie. It was The Wizard of Oz. And it wasn't the monkeys. It was that damn witch with that voice. Oh, it scared the heck out of me.
The son of Svengoolie.
Hey, Dad, can I borrow the keys to the hearse tonight?
I've been telling people that I became an overnight sensation in 43 years. And if there was any advice I was going to give somebody, I think the first thing is you've got to have an appreciation for the films, both the good ones and the bad ones. And secondly, be your own character. I think that what I do is a kind of an amplification of my regular person, and that's it. Take whoever you are and maybe, pump it up a little bit, and that might help you be successful. We announced when we did our special Svengoolie Uncrypted on October 1st that we're looking for a spawn of Svengoolie. I hear from people all the time that I influenced them and that I've had an influence on their life and what they do. And we thought, we've always been trying to add to the Sven universe, more or less, add to our Scream team, which I came up with that I thought was clever and nobody else did. But we're trying to maybe add to our cast along the way, and people are auditioning for it. And it's hard to say, I kind of tell people, don't try to be me, because there's already a me. We want you to come up with something original and something that you think will complement what we do in the show. So I'm crossing my fingers. We'll come up with some interesting people. What's next for Svengoolie? Well, I think we're going to continue working on the show, and there's a rumor of some additional comic book stuff, perhaps. Everybody says, oh, why don't you write a book? And it's like I have time to write a book? I really don't. They say, oh, you should do a movie. And again, I don't have time to do that. We're struggling. We have such a small crew that works on the show. And, I write everything and I screen all the movies and, I do it too. And then we have my director, Chris Faulkner. We have my executive producer, Jim Roach. And then we have sound guy. And all of them work together and help with the editing and everything and put it all together. So for a national show, that's a pretty small staff. And it takes a lot of us to get done in a lot of time. People always ask me, how can I become an official chicken thrower? And it's not easy. Most of the time, it's people who actually work in the station who are trying to get out of their regular job and come in while we're taping and throw chickens at me. Hopefully it's not people who don't like me very much, because there have been instances where those chickens have been thrown a little too hard.